you know, if you're seeing this, it clears up enough for me to get a picture, otherwise you wouldn't be seeing this video. So I've just arrived at the Lake District. I've driven 4 hours to get here because it seems to be the only place in the country with hopefully clear skies. Having said that, the whole journey up here, it was raining, and when I've arrived, it's still cloudy, but there are significant breaks, so hoping for the best. The weather forecast says it should be clear at about 12 o'clock onwards, midnight onwards. So the plan is going to be, I've just parked up, I'm going to get some food in me, get my bag packed up, get all my tripod, star tracker, everything packed up and ready to go, and then head up in about an hour or so. The goal will be to find some compositions up there just before sunset, hopefully get some landscape photos and then settle in. I've got a window about 1 o'clock till 2 o'clock in the morning where it's astronomical darkness. So this time of year, it's about mid-May, this sort of northern latitude, you don't get a lot of astronomical darkness at night. So we've got a little 1 hour window. I've been to this sort of area before, a bit further down the valley, never around here, so hopefully I can get a good scouting out before it gets too dark. Half an hour into the walk now. Luckily it has leveled off a bit because the initial bit was incredibly steep. So looking at the maps before I came up here, the path that I'm planning on taking goes up onto those mountains behind me, if you can see them. Those are the mountains that are currently covered in cloud. So hopefully it does all clear up. All the weather forecasts that I've looked at say it's supposed to clear up at 8:30, 9 o'clock. So hopefully they're correct. At least, you know, if you're seeing this, clears up enough for me to get a picture, otherwise you wouldn't be seeing this video. So yeah, I'm going to carry on. It's 7:30 now, so it's probably going to take me an hour to get up there. I'm hoping it doesn't rain. The clouds don't look the best, because if it does rain I haven't got any waterproofs, so it'll probably be abandoned ship. I'm a little bit further up the path now and I've come across this bit of stonage. I'm thinking it would be quite a nice bit of foreground. With the mountains in the background, they're not the most photogenic of mountains. They do look pretty cool to the eye, but I'm not sure how nice they'd look in a photo. The North American Nebula would be sort of in the sky just above here, so it might work. So I'm going to have this as like a backup. I'm going to carry on up the mountain a bit, got a little bit further to go, but if I don't see anything up there, at least I've got this to come back to. So the next peak I got to, photographically again, I wasn't too happy with it. So I've decided to go up to the next bit, which is in those clouds up there, just because the sun started to set and the light up here looks really nice. So I'm going to have a little look up here. I kind of like the rocks, and it's close to the van, so when it's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be very happy about that. So we'll see what's up here, and then if not, head back down to those rocks. So I'm pretty much at the top of the other peak now, the highest peak that I'm going to go to tonight. And I think I'm going to have this as my composition for astro instead of the rocks a bit further down the path, because you've got this nice stone pile here and it's balanced quite nicely with the peak that is there behind all that cloud. And there's also the path down there that sort of acts like a leaning line. So I'm praying that this cloud does clear. I think it should have cleared by now according to the weather forecast, so that's promising. But yeah, we'll see. I really hope it does clear. So I'm at the summit now of some mountain. Scarfell Pike is somewhere behind me there in all that cloud. The sun hasn't set yet. It's slowly peeking through this misty cloud every now and then, so it might come up in a minute. You can sort of see like a reddish haze coming through. Looking straight up, I can see blue sky, so that's promising. I'm just hoping this low cloud base moves past. So I'm going to stay up here for another 20 minutes or so, just in case it clears and I get a nice view of Scafell Pike with the sunset. I don't want to stay up on this bit too long in the dark. As soon as it starts getting dark, which I think it is now to be honest, I'm going to head back down to that stone pile and start setting up. I don't know if you can see that, but the cloud is very slowly lifting and you can just see the outline of Scafell Pike and the sunset behind it. Here we go. Hold on. Not really doing it justice, but it looks really cool. So I think the sun has now set, and as you can see, still completely cloudy. So we're going to head back down the path now, get back to that stone pile. I'm still considering going back to the original stone, to be honest, thinking about it. I've looked at the weather forecast and it says it's going to get pretty cold tonight up here. Just thinking it'd be safer to get a bit further down the path so I'm closer to the van. The only thing is, the stone pile up on this mountain area is a lot more sheltered than the stones down further down the path, so it's sort of a balance between those. So the Apple weather says it's supposed to be clear now. Obviously it's not, and but the main app I use, Clear Outside, says it's supposed to get completely clear at 12 o'clock. All this low cloud is gonna go. So I'm still trusting that. It's usually pretty good. We'll see. It's just a shame about the sunset. So I decided against the stone pile up on that higher ridge, mainly because when I was up there the weather was pretty rough. It was really windy and someone was telling me just to get off there. So you've always got to trust your instinct. Looking up there now, completely cloud free. The weather's really clearing up now, so that's really positive. There's a bit of cloud over in the east, which is a bit concerning, but it's about 9:30 now, so there's still plenty of time for that to clear out. I didn't go for the stone pile at the top, and I'm not going to go for that stone I saw earlier further down the path, because as I was walking down I liked how the path led into the mountain and then into the North American Nebula region, the Cygnus area. So hopefully it all goes well. So I've sat a bit off the path where I'm going to take the photo because it's a bit sheltered. The wind does seem to have dropped quite nicely, but I'm behind a bit of a stone area, so I'm just going to sit here for a bit. Yeah, and wait a few hours. So I've come down the path a bit from where I was sat. So I think I've slightly misjudged where I thought the North American Nebula was going to be. So it's a bit further to the left than I was hoping. So I've had to improvise a bit, come down and found a nice little rock pile on the path. So I'm going to use that as the foreground, mountain in the background, and then hopefully get some good HA data of the North American Nebula. It is very cold, so I think I'm going to have to start running around a bit, but set my star tracker, get the landscape images now. Technically it's not astronomical darkness yet, but it's pretty dark, so yeah, I'm going to get on with the landscape first, then I'll probably do HA data, and then by the time I get onto the RGB of the sky, it should be true darkness. So enjoy this little time lapse of the process. Yeah, so I've taken a few photos for the landscape, focus stacked it with that rock pile in the foreground. I've got about 15 minutes worth of RGB sky tracked. I've also taken one image for the stars. Sort of something I do, what I'm trying out at the moment, is taking a sky image, stacking it using the f2.8, which is the wide open for this lens, and then taking a stars image, stop down to about f5.6, so hopefully I don't get any astigmatisms with this lens, and then sort of blend those two together to get the weird stars out. So I've taken those images, and now I've got about half an hour, 25 minutes worth of HA data as well, which is good. If it all comes together, I'll put the photo up at the end of the video. I'm going to wrap it up now, so if you have enjoyed it, consider subscribing, like the video. Any questions, put a comment down below. Here's the image.